presentation of TFNN. The Tom O'Brien Show is produced every business day. Tom takes your phone calls toll free at 1-877-927-6648. Internationally at 727-873-7618.
Let's go to Ben in San Jose. Ben, what's going on, brother?
Hey, Tom, how you doing, man?
I'm doing great, man. Yourself?
I just wanted to thank you and your team and everything. I've been using your technique with the 10-minute charts, watching the VIX, and just making a fortune here on the futures.
Isn't it interesting? That's awesome, man.
It's wonderful. Thanks, Tom. I appreciate it.
Okay, man. Have a great one. Have a safe one.
Now, Tom O'Brien.
What's going on, everyone? This is Jacob Shoup. You're watching the Tom O'Brien Show. I hope you all have had a phenomenal day. We have a little storm going on out here. It means we're getting a cold front tonight. The portfolios are printing. Inflation's a bit sticky. What else can you ask for? Let's take a look right now, and the composite up about 1.81%. Nice. Oh man, wow. Breaking that 20,000 mark. 20,040 and 18 cents. Yeah, that Dow Jones Industrial trading off about 0.1% at 44,202. You get the DXY trading up 0.37% at 106.68. Crude oil catching a bid to the upside today there, up 2.73% at 70.46. That was actually something we saw a little bit, at least gasoline, energy commodities, pop up a little bit in November, right? After having some major, honestly, contraction through, August through about October. We'll take a look at the BLS data here in just a moment. Let's take a look. We have the SPY trading about 0.84% at 607.89. Very nice, right under those all-time highs there. Seems like it just wants to kind of retest that 608 level constantly. Let's see today. What else we want to look at? Gold. Gold's still moving up. Wow. Pretty nice recovery with gold. That is actually kind of crazy, huh? So trading right back up. 2,754 up 1.32%. And then copper off about 0.13% at $4.26 for the futures. Yeah, the Russell trading up 0.9% at 2,410. Silver up 0.36%. At 32.86, man, everything's doing okay right now, which is very nice. Google really moving up, just kind of on the release of the Willow chip. I kind of want to reiterate what I've been saying. If we had AI push us up this year, I think the discussion and build out for quantum computing is going to build us out next year in a huge way. You're having some really nice developments in it. What Google did with Willow is interesting. There's certain, I think they're called moduluses or something like that. But we remember a long time ago we were talking about RSA encryption, right? And how quantum computers can break those. Trying to find the solution to those problems. Supposedly this is what Willow did. There's not really a lot of information on exactly what it broke. That would take another computer or standard computers septillion years or something like that. But regardless, the market really likes it. You have a lot of developments coming out with, honestly, Intel, which is kind of interesting, getting into photonics chips. This is going to be huge for quantum computing. I'm surprised we're entering that discussion for photonics now. We've been speaking about that for the past few months, where these kind of standard, electron communication is not going to be the answer. Speaking of that, you have Qubit today off 14.24%. Not for the reason it should be off. It is a valid reason to be off. They are basically diluting, what is this here? Unveiled 50 million dual offering for 1.54 million shares. That gets you a big sell-off of about 14.17%. We talk a little bit more about them. Iceberg Research had yet another article on them, calling them kind of fraudsters. And we'll speak a little bit more on that later in the show. LAES is printing. RGTI is coming off, which makes total sense. I think D-Wave is doing okay as well. Man, yeah, a lot of stuff going on right now. Let's take a look right now at the inflation, or at least the CPI data. So what we got, huh? You're about 2.7 right now. November had a tick of 0.3. Okay, food is continuing to be a persistent issue, right? And again, this is what I'm saying, the core inflation, now, this isn't going to be food is not within the core inflation. That is volatile. But, you're getting core inflation still becoming somewhat of an issue. We could talk some more about that. But at least with the volatile categories, you have food up 0.4 total. Food at home is increasing. You have food away from home also. Let's see, energy actually a modest uptick again from what we've been seeing from August, through October as well. Kind of interesting. The energy commodities up 0.5. Overall for the year, still negative, which is fantastic. Let's see here. Get to the new and used vehicles. So the new vehicles, definitely a move up on it. Used cars and trucks, a little bit down from prior, but we are still up on that. Apparel, Medicare commodities. Interesting, medical care commodities, rather. I'll talk a little bit, too, about just sharing my thoughts on what happened with United Healthcare and that whole thing that occurred and, what we may see kind of going forward from these companies. Because I think we're actually at a really massive social inflection point from this kind of stuff. Some of the stuff that United Healthcare had been doing that was considered predatory prior to all of this, it seems like they want to try to roll back on. You're seeing some other healthcare kind of companies, health insurance companies, roll back some of the other things they've been doing as well. Apparently, denial for claims like in pharmaceuticals are down, and now that is anecdotal, but that's what's been being posted around everywhere. So kind of interesting. You have shelter up, you have transportation services flat, and then you have medical care services up 0.4%. And the market doesn't really mind. And apparently we're still getting a cut in December as well. And supposedly we're going to take a breather on cuts in January. We'll see what happens. I don't even know if we necessarily, need a cut right now, but we'll see what happens. Let's take a look as well. Some bigger news in the day is Tesla. You had a massive bump up in its price target. We're at $420 right now. There's $420.69 for the high. That's some computer stuff going on there. You have a market cap right now, 1.3 trillion. I mean, this is nuts. And not really on any insignificant volume. I mean, it's decent volume, right? Making all-time highs on it. Now, of course, you probably get a pullback at some level. Again, I'm so oppositional. This wind is nuts out here, guys. This is beautiful. You want to take a short in Tesla position. I don't like shorting Tesla, but you can probably do so a little bit more easily with TSLS. This is from our guys over at Direction. They actually released a new leveraged ETF today as well that tracks Palantir, which is kind of cool. This is something I'm kind of considering. You make all-time highs, not on any insane volume, but, it's still good. You can more than likely get pullbacks from these levels, and it will be minor, something along those lines. But if you were wanting to get into it, this is probably the way that I would approach that, is going TSLS. That's all 4.7% today at $7.98 per share. But, that's the safest way to kind of do it, honestly. Talking about some other just general news before we run to the break here. You have WhatsApp, Instagram, Facebook down, and these guys are hitting communication services in a major way. You got Krispy Kreme getting hacked. Oh, man. Folks, they're there. We'll be right back.
If you spend any time online researching trading techniques on how to begin your trading journey, you've no doubt come across many folks who push Forex trading as a way to make big money quickly. Unfortunately, there are equally as many stories of these so-called Forex professionals just looking to make a quick buck off aspiring traders without actually teaching the ins and outs of the Forex market. This is what sets Teddy Keckstad's The Tiger Forex Report off the riffraff. Every Monday, former Chicago Mercantile Exchange member and author Teddy Keckstad releases his Tiger Forex Report newsletter, where he dives into the complex world of Forex and takes time to actually teach you his methods that have made him so successful in the fast-paced and rewarding world of Forex trading. Furthermore, all subscribers receive access to archived live streams of Teddy's, where he provides university-level education to help you in Forex trading. All first-time subscribers receive a 30-day money-back guarantee. So what are you waiting for? Forex awaits.
Steve Rhodes started his trading career as a student almost 20 years ago, and the student has now become the master. Steve won the prestigious Timer of the Year award in 2018 and barely missed that mark again in 2019. finishing at number 2 for the year. An amazing accomplishment. Steve Rhodes is committed to sharing his techniques and knowledge with anyone who wants to learn, and he shares his vast amount of trading knowledge every day in his Mastering Probability newsletter. Steve's award-winning newsletter, Mastering Probability, is delivered every trading day with updates throughout the afternoon. Sign up for Steve's market newsletter, Mastering Probability, and you'll receive access to 7 of Steve's educational webinars absolutely free. At TFNN, all our newsletters come with a 30-day money-back guarantee, so you have absolutely nothing to worry about. Visit TFNN.com and try Mastering Probability 30 days risk-free today. TFNN, educating investors.
Building wealth trading in the stock market seems impossible to most people. They think it's too volatile and risky. Most people aren't going to take the time to educate themselves on how to do it right. But you're not most people, are you? At TFNN, you'll get the guidance you need to refine your strategies and techniques to invest like a pro. Because you'll be a pro. All TFNN subscriptions, books, software, and courses are available at TFNN.com. And I'm even going to tell you how to get them for less. Use TFNN's Tiger Dollars and you'll get up to a 20% bonus on your purchase. And once you apply them to your account, Tiger Dollars are automatically used for all future or recurring charges. Tiger Dollars also never expire, are fully transferable, and are a great way to add savings to your newsletters or services. Become the investor you were born to be at TFNN.com. TFNN, educating investors.
Welcome back, everyone. What were we talking? We're talking about Tesla. Yeah, big move to the upside. You have direction. New leverage ETFs tied to Palantir, Berkshire Hathaway. Very, very cool. I wonder what Palantir is doing today, right now. Up another 1.97%. Trading at 72.29. I love that this thing gets a bid. I think there's a chance, right, they get added to the NASDAQ. When does that go through? Let me see here. Oh, Friday. Oh, wow, this Friday. Okay, so there's a chance that they could be added just based on market cap, I'm pretty sure, to the NASDAQ 100. That would pop that even more. Of course, you still run the risk of SMCI getting delisted, but it seems like that might not be a huge thing, but probably why you're off about 4.45% right now. What else gets MicroStrategy potential? This is based on market cap. Potential for MicroStrategy, Equinix, CME Group, Interactive Brokers, Coinbase, Axon, DraftKings. Love this wind. Could be deleted. Moderna, Supermicro, Biogen, CW, MongoDB. We'll see what happens. That's just based on potential market cap and stuff like that. Talking about things within Palantir's wheelhouse. Get a big bear AI off about 1.13%. Huge pump to the upside. Coming right back down. Contracting volume, but we'll kind of see where the floor wants to be for that. Let's take a look as well at Vuzi. Now, what phenomenal move for the stock, okay? It tried hitting the $3 area multiple times. It rejected that. We finally hopped over to it. You see they're trying to reject it earlier this morning as well. Finally hopped over that. Went up to 3.32%. Good for this stock. Good for the stock finally breaking through that kind of resistance. Not substantial volume by any means at all, but it seems like people are wanting to get in here quite a bit. So that's very nice for Vuzi. Of course, we'll be following with it. I have no more, anything new to say on it beyond kind of my thoughts on its sales, but, I love AR. I like that. And I think it's going to be pretty big. So that's Vuzi Corp right now. Let me see here. Speaking we were talking a little bit about Tesla, which I think is, somewhat interesting. You had SpaceX, blow up in valuation. Now, of course, it's not private or anything like that. That's not public or anything like that. But you have a valuation surging to $350 billion. This company's buy back the stock there. So they agreed to buy stock from insiders at $1.25 billion at a purchase offer of $185. Notably, SpaceX is buying as much as $500 million in common stock as part of the offer and a rare share buyback. Of course, we're talking a little bit how you can kind of get in to that via some things on SoFi. That is not something I've done, and it's not something I probably will do, so just kind of clarity on that. But, if this thing goes public, this is the most competent, rocket stock there is out there. And you're seeing a lot of appeal with some of these investors. This is like institutional stuff. Excuse me, these are retail investors and everything. But I mean, Rocket Lab has had an amazing thing. We played earnings on that, did very well on that massive gap up, right? You have PL. I'm kind of curious to see how this turned out. What are we going to do? We're going to roll the dice here. Up one. Yeah, so check that out. So some major sell-off from because you had this massive, insane pump. But the point of me saying all this, even ASTS, right? Space Mobile, yeah, off 3.09% today. But you can see these massive run-ups, right, on earnings, stuff like that. You're burning right back down. Actually, kind of has a floor there, right at that breakout level. And that's a nice channel to trade in, right? Around $20, $22, all the way up to $30. So it kind of did that same thing, right? Around December 5th, hit around that $22, $21.45, all the way back up to 30, traversing back down, probably back to that level, and then we'll move back up to the 30. But there's a huge demand for these kind of space talks. I don't know necessarily why beyond like satellites and stuff like that. I think, low Earth orbit is, I think more people want to get onto it for communications. I think that's massive. Of course, just for, general kind of surveillance and everything like that. But SpaceX is no doubt the king in that area. Part of me wonders as well if, getting into some of these stocks is kind of a proxy for that in some capacity, since you're having such a massive build out in a lot of ways in space, And I think that's evident too with, what Trump did with the SpaceX or with the Space Force, right? And everyone kind of clowned that for a little bit, but in reality, with this world operates because we have satellites, and without that, there's no protection or anything like that. You run into some major risks, and I think that's actually why it got more built out under the Biden administration. So this is a big expansion we can get into, kind of upgrading the satellites that we have now, doing more change, low Earth orbit, kind of interesting. Before we move on any further, let's go over to TFNN.com. Now, I didn't send the email out yet, but I'm going to. It's funny how you have something to do and then everything else comes up as well. But if you take a look right now on the front page, we are doing the TFNN Tiger Dollar Holiday Sale. Come on, this is double bonuses. This is like some fantastic stuff here. You get a 100 Tiger Dollar bonus, $500 there. That's 600 Tiger Dollars entirely. It's 20%. You go to the next tier, you get a 30% bonus. And then finally, the big kicker, you get that 40% bonus. So we're only running this up until the 23rd. So that is the Monday before Christmas. Of course, we're getting, oh man, we have both halfway through the weeks, huh? We got Christmas and New Year's right on smack on Wednesday. So that's going to be some fun time in the markets with that. But get in here, do that kind of stuff. If you have any questions of how to get these kind of Tiger Dollars, it's fantastic. These things never expire. They apply first to all purchases via TFNN. So really, really worth kind of the deal you get here. And again, you can go right over to TFNN.com, go to the front page, scroll down there, and that's a gig. If you have any questions on that, kind of how that operates, or you want to know how many Tiger Dollars that you have currently, you can just email me at jacob@tfnn.com. Some of you guys have gotten my number as well. I appreciate the text. I will help you when I can on that. And I'm always watching the texts and emails as well. All right, let's hop on a little bit. I guess now is the time to kind of talk about it. Well, we got 2 minutes left, so I'm going to save that just a little bit. Let's see here. Oh, when we get back from the break, I'm going to talk about CLSQ, how they did today. Fantastic moves. I'm going to talk a little bit about Intel as well. I can bring up GameStop actually, which this is nuts. Okay, so you had GameStop at 8.58%. They actually turned. They actually did well. The net income was positive. It was $17.4 million for the period compared to a net loss of $13.1 million. But net sales are still contracting massively. Bizarrely enough, and I can't find the 10Q on their investor relationships. I can just get kind of the news, press release that they did. But they have cash equivalents, and marketable securities of $4.6 billion. So, I mean, if anything, the companies are trading at a big premium right now at $13 billion, and the company's not, they made money, which is unbelievable. Their net sales are contracted majorly. They had $860 million net sales, which is really kind of bad. in a major way. But the fact that they have that much cash and that many marketable securities is actually pretty insane. When we get back from the break, we can kind of discuss them a little more. I'm still not sold on it being anywhere at this price target. Again, we spoke about them. They've listed themselves, their main competitors being Amazon and Walmart. And that's like the last person you really, I think, last entities you really want to compete with in any major way. But, you know, you run the short squeeze up or you long it at earnings. This was actually kind of an interesting, this wind is funny, kind of an interesting move for GameStop. Folks, you stay right there. We'll be right back.
Many trading newsletters attempt to focus on a narrow set of equities or commodities. While this works for some, it oftentimes misses many opportunities that possess huge gain potential. But how is an independent trader supposed to scan the entire market looking for these hidden opportunities? One simple answer: the opening call newsletter. Basil Chapman, developer of the Chapman Wave trading methodology, has been trading the markets for longer than most trading influencers have been alive. And over that time, he has honed his methodology in order to accurately call movements in a wide range of equities, from semiconductors to uranium to key indices and so much more. Basil is old school, taking the time to educate the trader while also giving his insights into key indices, selective stocks, and more. Opening call subscribers also receive access to dozens of educational live streams that can be accessed at any time for your edification. All first-time subscribers receive a 30-day money-back guarantee. So ignore the pop trading influencers and start learning time-tested technical analysis.
Steve Rhodes started his trading career as a student almost 20 years ago, and the student has now become the master. Steve won the prestigious Timer of the Year award in 2018 and barely missed that mark again in 2019, finishing at number 2 for the year. An amazing accomplishment. Steve Rhodes is committed to sharing his techniques and knowledge with anyone who wants to learn, and he shares his vast amount of trading knowledge every day in his Mastering Probability newsletter. Steve's award-winning newsletter, Mastering Probability, is delivered every trading day with updates throughout the afternoon. Sign up for Steve's market newsletter, Mastering Probability, and you'll receive access to 7 of Steve's educational webinars absolutely free. At TFNN, all our newsletters come with a 30-day money-back guarantee, so you have absolutely nothing to worry about. Visit TFNN.com and try Mastering Probability 30 days risk-free today. TFNN, educating investors.
The consistency you're looking for is closer than you think. 1 or 2 adjustments are usually all you need to change your equity curve from red to green and keep it there. Come join Larry Pesavento live to learn what separates the winners from the losers. Join Larry Pesavento on the 2nd and 4th Friday of every month for 3 hours of live trading from 9 a.m. to 12 p.m. Eastern Time, where Larry will show you the market setting up and, most important of all, the state of mind of a winning trader. By watching Larry trade, you'll learn the Fibonacci levels, you'll learn how to apply A to B to C to D trading patterns, you'll learn trade management, pattern recognition, and much more. Join Larry October 11th and 25th for more live trading action. Your purchase goes towards 2 sessions, so make sure to sign up now so you don't miss a chance to sit next to Larry as he trades the market live. For all information and to reserve your spot today, go to the front page of TFNN.com. TFNN, educating investors.
This portion of the Tom O'Brien Show is brought to you by Direxion's daily leveraged and inverse ETFs. Whether you're a bull or a bear, you choose the direction. Visit Direxion.com. Investing in the funds involves significant risk and should only be utilized by investors who understand the impact of leverage and actively monitor their portfolio. They are not designed to track the underlying index or security for more than a day. Before investing, carefully consider a fund's investment objective, risk, charges, and expenses contained in the prospectus available at Direxion.com. Read carefully. Distributor Foreside Fund Services, LLC.
Welcome back, everyone. This is Jacob Shoup. You're watching the Tom O'Brien Show. Let's take a look at, I found the exact numbers for GameStop. I just think it's like worse than like it is actually nuts that they have that much cash. In October 28th of 2023, they only had $909 million in cash, and they now have $4.6 billion. Most likely, I would assume, from the sales of these marketable securities. Yeah, because they had $300 million. I mean, that doesn't, I don't know. That doesn't add up the whole thing. I'm not really sure what on earth happened there. But so, okay, main point is their net sales were $860 million. October 28th, these are 13 weeks ending. That was $1 billion that they had net sales. The cost of goods sold is not really that much lower. I mean, but maybe about $200 million. That's pretty solid, I guess, right? And so your gross profit still less than what you had in October 28th of 23. I mean, net income, is not bad at 17.4, but I still think these guys are in a real tough spot. Long-term debt isn't huge. Operating lease liabilities is huge. Oh, I figured out what happened. Man, I always tell other hosts, make sure you put your mic on. And then look at me. Sorry about that. So anyways, if you didn't hear anything I just said, the point is their cost of sales has not really decreased that much compared to the net sales they have. Gross profit lower for right now. Net income is much nicer than what had been, going on previously, but that's kind of where we're at right now with GameStop. I think this is a tough spot for them. But up 7.76% is solid, and having all that cash is huge. I don't know what they plan to do with it. I don't really know what much else they can do at this juncture, right? I mean, they're not getting special releases. Everything's all digital now. You can rent directly from things like Microsoft, right? So I'm not really sure how we can make an argument for it of, market cap anything a little bit above $4 billion, plus kind of their sales. But their sales are contracting, and that's going to continue to happen as well. So, I mean, they could probably lease out, real estate that they have. I don't know, but they could just eternally be a meme stock. And that probably works in some capacity. I don't know. That's what we have going on with GameStop. Let us take a look now at Seal SQ. What a beautiful move for this stock. Looking at it yesterday, closed about 58 cents. We've been talking about it here. Shout out to the Den for putting me on this thing. And Dan in particular on that. But you have this thing up 89.44% right now. It's really oscillating today. Let's take a look on that. Its floor you had earlier was around that $1 mark, and it wants to keep testing 120, right? And it does it. You have a big movement to the downside, and it just wants to keep pushing higher. I think you had a high today of about $1.45. This is good, and it's on decent news as well. I think someone else, some larger company, is buying shares in this because I think they see it being kind of the same way that I look at it, right? So you have this partnership here, which is going to accelerate ASIC development, okay? So that's just specialized chips, basically. You can kind of think about it that way for different kind of, whatever the process is needed for. You can design it for it. Now, that can be a little bit expensive, right? Because you're not mass producing these things. They can be specialized. But I think one of the big things that's super important to understand with this is what I've been saying is that these are going to have post-quantum encryption on it. And that is freaking huge. I've been talking a lot about NIST. NIST lists them at least as one of the signing partners for standards of encryption on IoT, which we've spoken about. IoT is going to be massive. It already is getting massive. And then NIST you had released November 12th. They don't have this released yet. I guess the comments are due for it on January 10th of next year. So we're gonna have to wait a little bit until after that to see, what NIST ends up saying. But I mean, first things first. This is kind of what we were talking about with Seal SQ, right? So trusted IoT device network layer onboarding, lifecycle, and management. So just how do we, as networking professionals or anything like that, deploy and kind of monitor these IoT devices that's super important, right? And this is talking a little bit about encryption. So you need to get that post-quantum encryption, and you have collaborating vendors. Of course, always read this here. Organizations participating in this project submitted their capabilities in response to an open call in the Federal Register. Following the response for relevant capabilities or product components, signed cooperative research and development agreement to collaborate with NIST in a consortium to build this example solution. And Seal SQ is right in there, along with Cisco, Foundries.io. So, it's fantastic just for them to have that exposure there. It seems like they're going to try to get these chips out at least by the beginning of next year in January, I believe. And this is something they published November 12th. We're going to see what they're going to talk about after January 10th. But this is a transition to post-quantum cryptography standards, right? So this describes NIST's expected approach to transitioning from quantum vulnerable cryptographic algorithms, stuff like RSA, AES, and stuff like that, to post-quantum digital signature algorithms and key establishment schemes. This will be interesting to read as well. It identifies existing quantum vulnerable cryptographic standards and current quantum resistant standards that will be used in the migration. So this is a huge, and when I'm talking like, it's not just industry standard. I mean, this is like everything standard. Everything standard. This report should inform the efforts and timelines of federal agencies, industry, standards organizations for migrating information technology products, services, infrastructure to PQC. Comments received this draft. Okay, fine. This is happening. It's mobilizing in a major way, and I think that Seal SQ is right at the heart of the stuff for IoT, the Internet of Things, right? Generally, single-use devices that lay on a network can be used for anything, right? Those tend to be relatively vulnerable, compared to like the, what you traditionally think of like within a network, right? And so, anyways, I just like this. I like it so much. I think it's great that they made this partnership right now to develop these ASICs a little bit more. We're going to talk about it. So they joined force with IC Alps to accelerate secure ASICs development. So announced a partnership with IC Alps to enhance the application-specific integrated circuit development capabilities. Collaboration aims to combine Alps ASIC design expertise with Seal SQ's security IP portfolio and production know-how. The initiative follows 2024 focus on quantum-resistant chip technology and engagement with major electronics manufacturers for quantum-resistant secured chips, based on QS 7001 architecture. Pretty nice. Folks, stay right there. We'll be right back.
If you're looking for potential trading setups in the stock market, then Rocket Equities and Options Report is a newsletter you should try. Tommy O'Brien delivers options and equity trades when the markets present them, using a combination of fundamentals and technicals. Sign up for Rocket Equities and Options Report today with a 30-day money-back guarantee, so you have nothing to risk. For all the details and to start your subscription today, visit the front page of TFNN.com. TFNN, educating investors. For traders who crave risk, Direxion's daily leveraged and inverse ETFs provide opportunities to magnify short-term perspectives with up to 3 times a daily leverage, utilize bull and bear funds from both sides of the trade, and trade through rapidly changing markets. These are highly leveraged ETFs with daily resetting designed for short-term trading, not long-term investing. Whether you're a bull or a bear, you choose the Direxion. For up-to-date pricing and performance, go to Direxion.com. Investing in the funds involves significant risk and should only be utilized by investors who understand the impact of leverage and actively monitor their portfolio. They are not designed to track the underlying index or security for more than a day. Before investing, carefully consider a fund's investment objective, risk, charges, and expenses contained in the prospectus available at Direxion.com. Read carefully. Distributor Foreside Fund Services, LLC.
The reality is that navigating financial markets can be risky. Markets can be chaotic and difficult to understand. Having the latest market advice can help you turn this chaos into a key for creating winning trades. At TFNN, we understand that it can be hard to find reliable market news. That's why each of our market experts offers their very own market newsletter. a must-have tool for every trader out there striving to find an edge in today's markets. TFNN newsletters cover every aspect of the markets so you can analyze the market before you trade. Try any of our great newsletters risk-free with our 30-day money-back guarantee. Just visit the Newsletters tab on the front page of TFNN.com. TFNN, educating investors.
TFNN has launched the Tiger's Den. Hosted at Discord, TFNN has been educating traders for more than 20 years with live programming hosted by a variety of professional traders during market hours. The Tiger's Den, available to all tigers and tigresses for just $1 for the year. There's no catch or added costs when you join our community of traders. Sign up today and become a part of this educational community of traders. Just visit the front page of TFNN.com.
This program is brought to you by Vista Gold, traded on the NYSE American and TSX under the symbol VGZ.
Tom O'Brien.
Welcome back, everyone. This is Jacob Shoup. You're watching the Tom O'Brien Show. Just kind of wrapping up on Lays, trading at 112 right now. $1.12. Let's see what happens with that stock. I kind of like it. All right, let's see. I want to talk a little bit about Intel. These guys are, this is sad news. Does it get destroyed? I don't know. Does it become some kind of husk that whatever the U.S. government wants to do with it, it becomes? I don't know. You fire Pat Gelsinger, you have a bunch of just interim guys running the thing right now. Trading off about 0.17, $20.19. Huge volume sell-off today. The low of 1987. 87 good lord, billion market cap right now. What do these guys do? You had the guy from TSMC, kind of Chang, come out and say these guys screwed up pretty badly. They screwed up deals. Pat Gelsinger offended Chang and lost a massive development opportunity with TSMC. So I think that guy needed to go for sure. And he did go, but there's still a lot of unclarity of what's going to happen with them. It seems like one of their new chips is getting the, let me see if I can actually find it. The specs on it are getting leaked, and supposedly they're just so much better than anything else that exists. And I am extremely dubious to something like that. Let me see if I can find it quickly. They have major problems. Now, one of the things that's kind of interesting, okay, this is what, the Battle Mage GPU. That's kind of cool. That's a dope name. Intel Arc B580, the Battle Mage GPU benchmarks leak faster than RTX 460 and RX 7600 XT in Vulkan, which is kind of nuts. If that's true. If you want this, I can kind of send it to you, but this is kind of the whole idea, right? Like, this is competing up there with RTX 460. Beating it in some circumstances, right? Like within Vulkan, it's beating it. OpenCL, it's just right under that. Let's see if anything interesting. I mean, this is just leaked information. Who knows if this is legit in any capacity? What happened to Gaudi? I don't know if this is, with the same kind of frame that they have. It's just a mess. This company is a total mess. It's an interesting opportunity at these levels, right? Like they still did somewhat all right last earnings. Trading at 2017, I mean, this is historically low. I mean, you could think about it in a sense, like you get the right guy in there who figures out how to, or lady in there who figures out how to, kind of run this thing. I mean, you can move right back up into the 30s and stuff like that. It's great upside potential, at least regarding the price. Another thing that I think is kind of interesting about Intel is all these patents that they own. They have one that I'm reading here. The patent name is Technology to Use Video Source Context Information in Post-Processing Applications, which is basically figuring out a way to kind of like re-encode and compress 4K streaming that doesn't eat up as much bandwidth, which I think is kind of interesting. What was the other one? Yeah, multi-access management service frameworks for cloud and edge, which could definitely be huge. That is for IoT as well. It's a programmable framework that provides mechanisms for flexible selection of network paths and multi-connection communication, basically allowing these guys to kind of all communicate with each other on their own network, which is kind of neat. You know, what materializes out of this is entirely unclear. They don't have any of their stuff together right now, and it's just kind of bizarre. Now, what I thought was a little bit interesting is that they just gave money. They linked up with NVIDIA, AMD, and Intel. This is kind of, I think, point us to what Intel is going to try to focus on here, which I think is photonic chips. Okay, so NVIDIA, AMD, and Intel, they invested a startup basically for photonics, optical interconnect designers. This is AR Labs, right? Unfortunately, AR Labs is private. But this is kind of interesting. So they specialize in using light to transfer data between chips, this is what we've been talking about. And this basically has to do with the artificial intelligence boom, right? So it says here, even in this article, it kind of explains it in less technical terms. So AI, obviously power hungry, we spoke about that before. Technology enabling it, primarily the graphics card units designed to handle many simultaneous tasks at once, demands the rapid and constant transmission of data in the server. That creates bottlenecks, a lot of power, which is the main thing here that we're discussing, and then generates significant heat. That is just not an issue with photonics. None of those things are an issue with it whatsoever. So this is really interesting, right? So the chips are manufactured at global foundries. This is IR Labs. Wade Startup is also talking to industry leader Taiwan Semiconductor. So we might actually get the photonics chips revolution way sooner than previously thought. If Intel is working on something like that, which it seems like they might be, based on this kind of funding, that makes them a player again. Now, of course, you're still competing with NVIDIA, you know, you're still competing with AMD, which is not saying much, but NVIDIA, it is saying something. And that could be something that they really excel at. And maybe if I were them, that's kind of what I would like hyper focus on and dump all that money in it. Kind of on that conversation with using light to transfer data, we're going to go right back now to quantum computing. I was talking about it a lot yesterday. Be wary of it. Off 15.3% because of another offering, trading at 646, $664 million market cap. This is getting memed in all of those weird little chat rooms online, right? I am seeing so many headlines. Is this the best stock right now for quantum computing? Okay, we were discussing that Iceberg Research article that they had, where it seems like nothing they're saying is actually legitimate, and then they release another one on December 9th, right? They say they're already running behind with new chip manufacturing, saying they made a very quick pivot to this out of nowhere, just posting how poorly they've done throughout time, and then they sent a link to the TFLN foundry in Tempe, Arizona. Remember what I was saying is with the amount of money that they had spent on this, which was $2 million, this is probably some kind of small little research thing, right? And lo and behold, this is a small little research thing. This is not commercialized chip production in any capacity. This is testing TFLN to see how, you do things. Can you expand it out to some extent? I don't even know why they're working with Plasma Therm and what that means for their own autonomy in producing these kind of chips. And so you run into a major problem with this. TFLN no doubt is massive and probably will be used at some point, but it's far more expensive right now. We know that China produces most of it in the world, so that does present an opportunity for non-Chinese producers of TFLN. Anyways, that's kind of where we're at. I think this is selling off for, obviously a good reason, right? But it should sell off more for the true correct reasons. Yeah, 50 million dual offering of 1.54 million shares. But nobody's talking about it yet. I mean, nobody's talking about anything that Iceberg Research said. Again, any further research. I mean, that tweet itself, I feel like, is pretty bad. Because if you look at like actual foundries, they are just immense and way more than $2 million. Buyer beware. There'll be a lot of money lost in this quantum run up, but there are ways that you can profit off it. Just folks, stay right there. We'll be right back.
Many trading newsletters attempt to focus on a narrow set of equities or commodities. While this works for some, it oftentimes misses many opportunities that possess huge gain potential. But how is an independent trader supposed to scan the entire market looking for these hidden opportunities? One simple answer: the opening call newsletter. Basil Chapman, developer of the Chapman Wave trading methodology, has been trading the markets for longer than most trading influencers have been alive. And over that time, he has honed his methodology in order to accurately call movements in a wide range of equities, from semiconductors to uranium to key indices and so much more. Basil is old school, taking the time to educate the trader while also giving his insights into key indices, selective stocks, and more. Opening Call subscribers also receive access to dozens of educational live streams that can be accessed at any time for your edification. All first-time subscribers receive a 30-day money-back guarantee. So ignore the pop trading influencers and start learning time-tested technical analysis.
In the world of trading, only a few names stand out like Larry Pesavento, a pro's pro with over 50 years of experience. Larry has seen it all. A former Chicago Mercantile Exchange member, Larry has authored 10 books and trained over 1,000 traders with his unmatched expertise. Introducing Fibonacci 24/7, Larry Pesavento's daily trading service that turns the complexity of markets into opportunities. Published every Sunday, receive a comprehensive report packed with detailed commentary, charts, and videos that illuminate the patterns shaping the markets, with updates throughout the week exclusively for subscribers. Whether through charts or videos, Larry's analysis is your roadmap to navigating the markets. You can sign up now at TFNN.com for just $97. And with all TFNN newsletters backed by a 30-day money-back guarantee, you have nothing to risk. For all the details, visit TFNN.com. You'll find Fibonacci 24/7 right under the newsletters tab.
The reality is that navigating financial markets can be risky. Markets can be chaotic and difficult to understand. Having the latest market advice can help you turn this chaos into a key for creating winning trades. At TFNN, we understand that it can be hard to find reliable market news. That's why each of our market experts offers their very own market newsletter. A must-have tool for every trader out there striving to find an edge in today's markets. TFNN newsletters cover every aspect of the markets so you can analyze the market before you trade. Try any of our great newsletters risk-free with our 30-day money-back guarantee. Just visit the Newsletters tab on the front page of TFNN.com. TFNN. Educating investors.
Don't forget, you can listen to TFNN live on your mobile device 24 hours per day. Go to TFNN.com, then hit Watch Tiger TV. That's TFNN.com, then hit Watch Tiger TV.
Welcome back, everybody. Jacob Shoup, watching the Tom O'Brien Show. Got a short segment here. Yeah, if you want the articles from Iceberg Research on Qubit, which is what I'm going off of and kind of like talking off of as well. Also gives you different paths for doing your own research on it, so you can find anything else. You just email me at jacob@tfnn.com. You can also DM me in the Tiger's Den. If you're not in the Tiger's Den, kind of just want to talk about that quickly. Tiger Dollar Sale, by the way. Go over to the Services tab. You can go to Tiger's Den Trading Room. This is on Discord. This is a really straightforward setup, okay? So you need anything to do, we have the steps down here. I think some people miss this sometimes, but just visit Discord, right? You're gonna select what your operating system is. The application will probably detect it right here. So if you have a Windows computer, do that. Create an account. Okay, you're gonna click this link. This is gonna get you into the den. And then you just gotta email sales at TFNN with your username, and we'll get you in there. Bunch of guys and ladies talking about trading stock. Very good stuff, right? I mean, you're catching stocks that run up in a major way before anyone's even heard of them. Strongly recommend it. We do charge $1 a year. That is not because we're trying to get money from you on it. That's just our way to verify that you're, kind of a legitimate person. On things like Discord and other kind of like big apps like that, you just don't want just random people joining it. So we take the security pretty seriously on that, but strongly recommend checking that out. But yeah, if you want it, let me know. Send you Iceberg Research's paper on Qubit. Let's take a look here real quick at Reddit. So kind of nuts. They released their new AI up 6.13% today. Rolls out an AI-powered answer search feature, which I haven't used yet, but there's no way that that's just not like totally toxic at some point. But it's fine because people are gonna get to interact with it, more than they usually do. And then Morgan Stanley upgrades them and gives them a $200 price target. That's kind of nuts. Folks, thank you so much for joining me today. We will see you tomorrow morning, 9 a.m. with Tommy O'Brien for the morning market kickoff. Fantastic show. We'll see you then. Take care.